welcome to episode number 5 of the CCUA's CU Marketplace Monday. We're doing things virtually this year, and we've got a great show lined up for you on Monday. We're going to keep this to just about an hour, so I'll have you on your way just after 11 o'clock, but great show today. Awesome guests coming up. Thanks to all of our vendors, all of our partners, our title sponsor, CUNA Mutual Group. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you membership folks out there that are watching this show week after week. There is a chat feature right underneath the video here. So if you want to interact with me or with any of our guests, feel free, jump on board. That's also where you're going to be entering, let's say, your name or something coming up, because I do have another $100 Visa gift card that we will be giving away. A couple of housekeeping notes right out of the gate. Awards of Excellence. So the deadline for Awards of Excellence is this Thursday. And this year we're doing Hall of Fame, Professional of the Year, CEO of the Year, and Volunteer of the Year. So you want to jump on board and get those in. The deadline is this Thursday. All right. Also, registration is open for our virtual annual meeting and convention coming up in October. And the site you're on right now, ccua.org, all the details for registration are available there. And don't forget, we have the Marketplace Monday Mystery Clue coming up. All of you have a chance to win $2,000 in cash. Hopefully you've been watching all of these episodes, because I put clues in each episode. And at the end of our Road to Convention in October, if you got all the clues right and you enter, you have a chance to win $2,000 in cash. Great show coming up. We're going to be talking with Terry and Joe from Blue U Defense, Allison Ebner from Employers Association of the Northeast. But I want to start the show with Dr. Kathy Snyder. She's in our virtual green room. Kathy, you can unmute your screen. Dr. Kathy Snyder, she is the Senior Vice President of Co-op Financial Services. Happy Monday, Doctor. How are you?
Happy Monday. I'm doing fantastic. It's great to see you. Thanks for the invitation today.
Absolutely. I love your attitude, and you're beaming with positivity. I love it. I was talking to Kathy before the show. She's like, look, it's Monday, but the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Let's get at it. So thank you for the positivity.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about what Co-op Financial Services are specifically for the folks watching, and what your responsibilities there are, Dr. Kathy.
So Co-op Financial Services serves the credit union market, and such an important segment of the whole financial services industry, because it's all about people helping people. And so we are a technology enabler for the credit unions. We really bring their payments into their whole solution set that they have for the credit union, and enable those ever important things like, ATMs and surcharge-free access, shared branching. We have a contact center, debit cards, credit cards, just a whole wealth of services that really enable those credit unions to compete with those big banks, so that, they can really take care of their membership. So at Co-op, I head up our Engage product line. And the best way to think about that is really anything that a consumer can touch directly. So you go to an ATM, you need cash. You have your mobile phone, you need to maybe freeze your card, turn it on and off because you lost it. Or you kind of, need to pick up the phone and call the contact center because you can't find that debit card. You don't know where it is. You might see something on your statement and you have a question. So we're really all of those member-facing channels that allow the members to stay connected to their credit unions.
That's a great explanation. Thank you. Talking to Dr. Kathy Snyder, SVP of the Engage Solutions, which is part of Co-op Financial Services. Talk about this contact center. You just mentioned that. In the second you said losing a debit card. I've lost debit cards, credit cards. It can throw you off. It's a huge pain. But to have a contact center where I can pick up the phone and call somebody and be connected with my local credit union is big. So, Dr. Kathy, talk about this contact center you have at Co-op Financial Services.
So, our contact center it's always on. It's 7/24, 365 days a year. We have agents that speak on behalf of the credit unions that we serve, and they're able to answer the phone. And so it's this mix of these talented professional people we have that are able to sort of transcend the phone. And, when a member calls and they have a concern or they're anxious or a question, And it's really putting people together with this state-of-art technology that we have to take care of everything that a member might need. And it's really there when the credit union can't be. So, there's different situations. The branches aren't open. We're going to talk, I know, about COVID and the impact that the pandemic has had on things. But it's our team of people and then some IVR capabilities as well that allow them for maybe those really quick hit things that they need to take care of. So we have a couple of different locations for our contact center, and a lot of really wonderful personal people that work inside them to take care of the membership.
Talking this morning to Dr. Kathy, she works with the Engaged Solutions at Co-op Financial Services. She's the Senior Vice President. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's talk about the pandemic. The pandemic back in March changed everything, changes how we do work, how we interact, how we send our kids to school. Everything's different right now. So stay on the lines of that contact center. And how important has a contact center been for financial institutions during this pandemic?
Wow. Well, it's just crazy what's happened. Everybody's life has changed. And we really have quite a story to tell around the contact center and how it's been able to step in and serve with people. We've had a couple of things. Obviously, we've had to focus on, number one, keeping our employees safe, because they've been dealing with the exact same situation as every other consumer that's out there in the marketplace. So while we've been working on keeping our employees safe, we also want to make sure that the membership for the credit unions has access to their funds. And, just a couple of examples of things that happen. When April 15th, do you remember April 15th? It wasn't tax day this year because that got moved. But on April 15th, those CARES stimulus checks came out. And in normal sort of member behavior, a lot of people wanted to call to make sure that those checks were in those accounts. And so our contact center actually saw 28,000 calls in one day that came in, where we normally would get 12,000 calls in that same day. So when you think about the phones ringing and the people having the questions and taking care of those, so the volume has really, really, really grown. And then we have existing clients as their branch closed, and they said, hey, Co-op, can you help me out? I need to send you more calls. And so we did see an increase in the call routing, those things that they asked us to take care of, the after-hour calls, and everything was just magnified with this contact center. And, one of the things that we did in terms of really working to keep people safe in the contact center is, part of our business continuity plan kicked into play, because how do you take a center that has, X amount of people that are working in it, and our internal teams, our service teams responded so quickly. We activated a center in the Fort Worth area that we already had access to it. We moved a third of the staff there. We took scores of employees and set them up to work remote so that they could work from their homes. We made videotapes. Our people made videotapes to say, here's how you work from home. And they made sure that all of the security protocols and everything was still in place, because you are answering the phone and talking to a member. So in both of our key contact center locations, we responded on a dime, and within 15 days had everybody dispersed, greater spaces between the work areas, and they were still answering the phone, still taking those calls. And as everybody was dealing with, oh my gosh, the world changed. So really great response by the team.
Talking with Dr. Kathy this morning, SVP of Engaged Solutions at Co-op Financial Services. We're focusing on the contact center, very important piece, for credit unions. And I'll tell you what, top rate service is very important to all of us at credit unions, and we have to make sure our members get top rate service, and that's what we provide. What has Co-op Financial Services done to keep what you provide at a top rate service really since March? I mean, the world has changed. So how are you keeping up?
Well, it's really interesting, or not so interesting, but maybe it was just some things that had been in process really came together that the week before we rolled into production for our contact center a significant investment that was in tools that the agent used, infrastructure, the phone systems, like the underlying technology, and really getting that to a point where it was ready to handle exactly what happened. Our people were ready. And when we think about the fact that that just rolled in the weekend before, after significant investment in it, and we've done so much training with our agents, especially in this time, and we do this all the time, but not only do they get the training to be able to answer that call technically, but it's that soft skills training because people are concerned, they're anxious, they're worried. Some of them, their spouses or significant others may have lost their job, and they're really looking for help and services. And one of the great things about the co-op contact center is we can represent that contact center, so we can help out with lending conversations. We can help them with any of their card-related products. So it's really that continued focus on the member experience. Even things like courtesy callback. So I call in and it's very, very busy, and the member has that option to say, you know what, call me back because the wait time's going to be a little bit longer. I have things to do. People don't want to just sit on the phone, right, and wait for someone to answer their question. So, we have that ability to say, you know what, leave your phone number, you keep your place in the queue. We're going to call you back and take care of you as soon as that next agent becomes available. So many things like that with the technology really, really helped us continue to focus on that member experience. It's so funny. One of the managers of the contact center was talking to her the other day about, how are the teams doing? How's everybody coping with this and the volume? And she's like, you know what? I'm the Mary Poppins of the contact center, and I'm going to make sure that everybody is taken care of, and just that really professional, positive attitude that from the managers in the center down to every single agent has really made a nice difference.
Well, I can tell that Mary Poppins energy is popping off of you this morning, and that's good. But that's a great listen. The people that are watching this show right now are membership people from all around the 4 states that the CCUA is represented in: Delaware, New Hampshire, Mass, Rhode Island. We want to make sure that there's a positive attitude out there. Credit unions are always going to be there for the members, regardless. We don't have a clue what everybody's going through. You're going through things. I'm going through things. Maybe somebody lost a job. You're exactly right. Did that check come in? Do I get a loan? I mean, so many questions, let alone if you start losing your credit card or your debit card, or it can create anxiety. And I think we're talking with Dr. Kathy this morning. She's the SVP of Co-op Financial Services. Co-op Financial Services provides a lot, but we've been focused on the call center because you have to have, reach out and touch somebody, right? Wasn't that AT&T back in the day? I mean, you've got to be able to call and get help if you need that help. So, give me a way that people right now, we do have a chat box below the video, so people can certainly log on there, throw some questions out there for Dr. Kathy, but how do people get a hold of you directly, doctor, if they want to, consider using Co-op Financial Services at their credit union?
Well, we definitely want them to call us because, number one, we can help them, and Co-op is all about people helping people and Co-op helping credit unions. So Co-op Financial Services, we have a fantastic website. You can go in there, you can log an inquiry for additional information because, making that decision to think about outsourcing your call center, that's a big deal because at the end of the day, it's the credit union brand, it's their image, it's who they are. And you want to make sure that you have a partner that provides that really personalized touch. I mean, we have We have multilingual agents, so we can really take care of any kind of membership. And so the Co-op Financial Services website has a place that you can go to. We can get more information, and someone will get back to them right away. But it's a big decision, and it goes, the technology, the tools, the capabilities, those things to me are table stakes. Where we really focus is in the member experience. When they call, and for whatever reason, and you've called the call center, right? You need help, you have a question, and you want it quick and efficient and accurate. And we focus on our talent pool of our agents is just fantastic. And they do such a great job really taking care of people. I've gone to the contact center and listened in on, the calls, and you see what's happening. I am amazed at how these people are able to, authenticate that member. They know who it is they're talking to. They're gathering information. They're pulling things up. And at the whole time, they're smiling and talking to them. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It's pretty cool.
What is that website, Dr. Kathy, people can go to for Co-op Financial Services?
www.coopfs.org. coopfs.org.
coopfs.org. We're talking to Dr. Kathy, Senior Vice President of the Co-op Financial Services. Engage Solutions is what she focuses on. We're going to wrap things up here, but I do want to ask you what trends are coming in the call center field? Like, what new and exciting things, if I work at a credit union and I want to work with you, what makes Co-op Financial Services cutting edge in the contact center space, Dr. Kathy?
Yep. So, we anticipate the volume of calls is going to continue to grow, right? So we've got the tools, we've got the technology, all of the things in place that we need to be able to take those calls. But the expectation for consumers is just going to continue to grow. And, things like increasing IVR services, so things that you could maybe do through an IVR more simply, faster than talking to the agent, you still have that option. Things like live chat, where you want to send a chat and get an answer very, very quickly. So contact center, while all of the channels are changing, we've got digital channels with people on their phone. We can help credit unions with that. We have the physical channels with ATMs and our shared branch network for those locations that are open, but the phone becomes another touch point. And what we're really focused on is within the contact center, how do you still make it personal and fast, reliable, always on? So we have to give consumers a choice to say, I'm either going to take my phone and use my digital app, I'm going to go into the branch, or I'm just going to pick up the phone and call somebody, and you will always get service and get taken care of.
Good. I love that. That sounds great. Talking with Dr. Kathy, she's the SVP of Co-op Financial Services. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Give out that website one more time for the membership watching if they want to reach out to you.
www.coopfs.org. Call us. We can help you.
I love it. And listen, before I let you go, I have to have you spin the prize wheel. You want to win some prizes?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Here's what we got, Dr. Kathy. We got $50 gift cards, $25 gift cards, a couple of free spins, or a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. Here we go. Pat Sajak in action. Free spin. Here we go. Another spin, Kathy.
Come on. We need a good spin here.
Right? $50 Visa gift card for you, Dr. Kathy.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, you know what? You know what I'd really like to do with that $50 gift card is, why don't you, if you wouldn't mind, take that to your local credit union, buy some donuts for all the staff, take it into the staff, tell them, thank you, you guys are doing a good job, because they're the unsung heroes as well that have been showing up to work every single day. So if you want to take that to a local credit union and maybe make their day a little bit brighter, that would just be great. I
love it. That's so positive. Thank you, Dr. Kathy. We're talking with Dr. Kathy. She's the SVP of Engage Solutions at Co-op Financial Services. We really appreciate that. We're definitely, people watching want to put their hands up. Who wants donuts? Anybody want donuts? Oh,
exactly, donuts.
Donuts for everybody, exactly. And before we go here, I want to drop our Marketplace Monday mystery clue. So what we're doing there, Dr. Kathy, is every week I give out these clues, and anybody that gets all the clues right, they enter in for a chance to win $2,000 in cash. So this is our 5th episode, and today's clue is the word textiles. Textiles. Textile. There you go. Okay. So if you haven't seen any of the other shows, you need to log on. You're on the website now, ccua.org. Watch all the shows, gather all those clues. And we're trying to make these things educational and fun, play some games, and then get people off the phone or the computer by 11 so they can move on with their Monday, right?
Excellent.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show, Dr. Kathy. You have a safe Monday and enjoy the rest of your week, okay?
My pleasure. Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a good day. All right, everybody who's watching, I have a $100 Visa gift card I'll be giving away later on in the show. Also, don't forget, the deadline for the Awards of Excellence is this Thursday. All that information is right on the website there at ccua.org. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on Marketplace Monday. Stay with us.
Meet Bob and Sally. Each of them has just chosen a partner to help with vendor management. Let's see how things go. To start off, Sally just took the morning and uploaded all her existing vendor contracts and authorization letters to Maple Street. Then, got back to helping customers. Bob didn't do that. Bob spent 2 days on software training and loading his vendor list instead. Poor Bob. Here, we see Sally having a quick meeting with Maple Street. They've risk ranked all her vendors, so all she has to do is sign off on it and she's off to lunch. Bob didn't do that either. Bob spent all week using the software to risk rank his vendors himself. Poor Bob. Anyway, here's Sally and her team getting trained by Maple Street on recommended procedure updates and best practices for vendor management. And Bob? Yeah, Bob didn't do that either. He spent the last 3 weeks trying to get vendor information and doing all the due diligence reviews himself. Poor Bob. And here's Sally reviewing the final strategic vendor plan where Maple Street has already analyzed their contracts and expenses. They've identified places where she's spending too much, and now she's turning them loose to get that money back right before she heads back out to help customers. And this is Sally sharing the news that Maple Street just reduced their vendor expenses by $600,000. Bob? You still in there, Bob? Never mind. Bob didn't save anything anyway. He did end up compliant, but it sure did cost him. Poor Bob. Don't be Bob. You're making an investment. Shouldn't you get a return? Call Maple Street today.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of CU Marketplace Monday. We're doing things virtually this year. The world has changed out there, but you know what? We still got to get business done. We've already talked to a number of great guests, keynote speakers. We've been doing a lot of fun stuff on our Marketplace Monday. Thank you to everybody who's logged on to ccua.org/live and is watching. We appreciate that. Thanks to all of our sponsors and all of our partners. And the next up on the show is actually one of our new partners. They're a partner of the CCUA. Allison Ebner is the Director of Membership at Employers Association of the Northeast. Did I get that right, Allison?
You got that right. I'm impressed. Way to go.
She said that to me earlier. She said, it's going to be a long one, Isaiah. I'm like, all right, as long as I can say Employers Association of the Northeast. Done. I got it right.
You nailed it. Perfect.
My work is done here. Show's over. No.
There we go.
So Allison is, they're actually a new partner of the Cooperative Credit Union Association, and we're excited to have you on as a partner. Talk a little bit about what Employers Association of the Northeast does and what you're going to be providing for our credit union membership.
Great. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this information. And we're so pleased to be a partner of CCUA. We work in the people space, right? We work with HR professionals and smaller credit union CEOs and businesses of all shapes, sizes, and scopes across New England. We ourselves are a membership-driven organization. We've got 1,000 members across 3 states. So really our mission in supporting CCUA members is to help with the people and the process within the credit unions. We manage compliance-related issues, employee relations-related issues. Anything that's related to your people and your process is something that we can assist with. We've got a really, really highly used benefit, which is our employer hotline. And CCUA members get that hotline service extended to them as part of their membership with CCUA. So for no cost to the CCUA member, you can call our employer hotline. It's a toll-free number. This hotline is staffed by 6 certified professionals in the human resources field. 2 of them are actually employment law attorneys. So any question that you might have around compliance, whether it's a paid leave situation, any type of compensation, disciplinary action that you might need to take, best practices, a policy in your handbook that needs updated, all of these are fair game for the hotline. And CCUA members, we want to make sure they're taking advantage of that, giving us a call and getting that extra hand, which everybody really kind of needs in this crazy environment that we're living in right now.
I couldn't agree more. We're talking with Allison Ebner, the Director of Membership for the Employers Association of the Northeast. They are a new partner of the Cooperative Credit Union Association. Having a hotline, having that extra hand is very valuable these days. I mean, things have changed. I mean, look, we're doing our marketplace over a virtual platform now. You know, the COVID-19 has set us back a little bit, but you know what? We're going to continue to move forward. The whole reason we're doing this road to convention is so that every Monday, you know, we can give you, the vendors and partners, the platform to reach our membership, and the membership have access to people like you. Because there's people watching this right now. There's CEOs watching this now. There's marketing directors watching. There's HR folks watching from the various credit unions over the 4 states that we're in. They need help. They need help and they need solutions. And things were going along fine, and then March hit and things got a little crazy. So talk about how this pause, this lockdown, this whatever you want to call it, how has that affected business for you, and how are things in your world?
Well, you know, we've had to pivot quite a bit. I think pivot is kind of a word we're hearing a lot of, and I know there's certain words and phrases that none of us really want to hear anymore, like the new normal. You mentioned another one earlier that drives you crazy. I won't mention it. You can reveal that if you choose to. But, you know, pivoting.
Unprecedented times.
Unprecedented times. We're not saying that. We have to edit that out, Walter. Or not, right? He's got editorial control over this.
Oh, keep it in there. Keep it in.
Whatever you want to call it, it's chaotic. And it's really chaotic for everybody. So a lot of what we do here at Employers Association is around training and learning and development. And I know CCUA offers a lot of training to their members too. And we're all used to doing it face to face. We are people. We like to see faces. We like to get together. We like to socialize, have a glass of wine, network. We can't do that anymore, right? So everything that we do in the learning space has had to go virtual. And that's been certainly a big challenge for us. It was a direction that we were moving as an organization anyway, taking baby steps towards that. But baby steps were not good enough, right? Over the last 6 months, we fully launched a virtual learning platform, made all of our programs virtual. So that certainly is one way that we've been significantly impacted by all of this.
You mentioned that baby steps, and I would say COVID is the big brother that just pushed you down the stairs and said, figure it out. But there is a lot of positive that has come from what's happened to all of us since March. And that's all you can do is you got to look for the positive, look for the silver lining. What's good? Look, you just talked about changing your platform. We're talking with Allison Ebner, by the way, Director of Membership for Employers Association of the Northeast. And you know, if you have to put things virtual, you were going in that direction. Well, now you've done it, and now it's going to be your job to be an expert at that. You talk about that hotline, all the folks watching the show right now, talk a little bit about that hotline. That hotline seems like it's very valuable. And right now, all of the members of CCUA, correct me if I'm wrong, have access to this hotline for free as part of their membership. Talk about what that hotline would do for me if I were working at a credit union.
Yeah, they do have access. You are 100% right on that. And I think what we do with our employer hotline is give the HR professional or the CEO or senior leadership at the credit unions and all of our members that partner. So you're not alone in wondering in that space of what should I do in this situation, right? So whether it's assistance with some sort of a compliance issue that comes down from the federal government or comes at a state level, right, for any of the 4 states that CCUA members are working in, whether it be an employee relations issue, whether it be a COVID safety issue. This is all new to all of us, right? So we're all setting up our workplaces with specific requirements, mandates that are governed by state laws now. The laws are changing every day. The rules of the game change at such a rapid pace. There's no way one human being can keep up with all that. So you've got our team now. Everybody who's a CCUA member has the entire team of 26 at Employers Association working for you, as well as all of you, the team at CCUA. So you're just adding to your network by calling our hotline. Our folks are experts in HR. We may not be experts in credit unions, but we're experts in HR, so we know our stuff.
And that's so valuable. And that's going to be such a valuable thing for all the folks at the credit unions to have. Talking with Allison Ebner, the Director of Membership at Employers Association of the Northeast. You can find out all sorts of information about Employers Association by going to eane.org. I got that one wrong at the beginning. It's almost like EA Sports. It's in the game.
Oh boy, okay. Close. Yes.
eane.org, eane.org, and learn about all the the work you guys do with employee handbooks, with recruiting, all the HR questions that a CEO may have, or the HR people. I mean, it's so good to have that extra helping hand. Certainly, you bring up the COVID pieces, and what is it going to be like going back to work, and how do we handle this HR situation? To have that expertise at the other end of the line, I think is very, very valuable. And let me repeat what Allison said. Everybody who is a member of the Cooperative Credit Union Association now has access to that hotline for free, which is amazing. I think that's excellent. Tell me how you got into the position that you're in. Like, what's your background?
My background is really around talent development and organizational development. So I did recruiting for a number of years. I was in sales and marketing for a number of years, but really always in that talent development space. So I'm really passionate about helping companies attract and retain the right people, because that is really the basis for our success as business owners, right? Is we've got to have the right people in the right seats on the bus. And that's how the magic happens. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years in my career. Now I'm bringing it to Employers Association here, where I love my job because I talk to members all week long, businesses all week long, where they need some extra support and help. Sometimes they just need an ear these days, quite frankly, because it's such a stressful time. And we're all learning how to recommunicate with our employees, which is something that we help members with as well, with the COVID spike happening, the remote workforce happening, right? We're in, we're out. We have a mix of employees at home, at work, the school situation being up in the air. We're showing more empathy with our employees. We're changing our communication planning. So it's all a lot on the shoulders of an HR person or a CEO at a credit union. So it's all about partnerships, aligning yourself with partners, resources that can really work with you and help you.
People helping people.
That's it. We should write a song. We should write a song.
I love it. I'm all in.
Oh, wait, that's already been done.
I know, right? I think someone already has that song. We're talking with Allison Ebner, the Director of Membership at Employers Association of the Northeast. You can find all of her information and what their amazing company does at EANE.org. You thought I'd screw the name up. I'll just screw up the website. And you guys are a partner of the CCUA, so thank you for that. Thank you for all the services you provide. let's do a little something here. You want to spin the prize wheel? Because all of our vendors and partners get to spin the prize wheel for some money.
Very excited. Okay.
Let's see what we got here. Turn this
All
puppy
right.
around. There it is. The prize wheel. We got $50 gift cards. We have Dunkin' Donuts gift cards and $25 gift cards. Allison, are you ready?
I am ready. Let it roll. Here we go.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. What was that game show? No whammies. No whammies. Bam! $25 gift
All
card.
right. Woohoo!
Put a little money in your pocket. Not a bad day at the office, right? You actually won some money.
There we go. I get to talk to you and I won some money.
Listen, thank you
That's
so much.
it.
Allison Ebner, Director of Membership, Employers Association of the Northeast. EANE.org is the website. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for coming on our Marketplace Monday. I hope everybody is safe and healthy in your world. Everyone doing okay?
Everybody's doing well. Thank you for asking. Hope the same for you too.
Thank you. Look, I love that picture behind you too. Where's that dock? Is that a dock on a lake?
That's up in Maine somewhere. Yeah.
I think we all want to be up in Maine somewhere these days.
We all want to be up there with a beer on the end and our toes in the water, right?
Yes, I love it. I love it. Allison Ebner, Director of Membership, Employers Association of the Northeast, EANE.org. Thank you, Allison, for coming on Marketplace Monday.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. Have a good day.
Yeah, you do the same. Thank you. We've got more coming up on our Credit Union Marketplace Monday. We've got details on convention. This is the road to convention, so stick around. We have details on how you get registered for our virtual convention coming up later this year. I'm your host, Isaiah. This is Marketplace Monday. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Not only do they provide data and credit scores and all of that, it's really a full-blown relationship that we have with Experian. So if there's a knowledge gap, I call Experian and they come out and they work with us. If I've got some sort of new product idea, they'll say, you'll let me know what's out there, that you provide. So the goal for Experian is to be more than just credit score, right? So when it comes down to it, the impact that they've had on us is really helping to become a more rounded company.
The partnership with Experian was something that I inherited when I came into the role, but not something that we've contemplated changing since that time.
I love the credit union team. They are amazing, and I've actually had a couple different reps over the years, and I've liked every single one of them. I find them to be really intelligent and forward-thinking and responsive.
If I could describe Experian in one word, it would be dedicated. They really spend their time with me and my employees and the credit unions in general to make sure that we're providing the best service possible, but also taking in our input and spending time adapting to our needs as well.
So Experian's team has been amazing as far as the analytics that they can provide. And I'm a report junkie. I love looking at data, and I feel like it really helps us to hone in on our members, to hone in on the next best thing that we can do for them.
Yeah, so business challenges are changing all the time, and that's where a partner like Experian can really help in bringing the solutions to bear, constantly innovating, the ability to learn about the products and solutions that they're developing early on has been appreciated, and to be able to really test them out to see if they have application.
Especially because we're able to do so much with outreach to non-members. I feel like we're opening up the credit union space to people who never would have thought that they could even be a part of a credit union before.
Yeah, so Experian is helping us to foster financial inclusion through some work that we're doing right now to build some custom scoring models to be able to lend to a more diverse audience, incorporating trended data, information from the Clarity Bureau as well. We really feel like that's going to help us be able to widen the audience with which we serve.
I loved the outreach that they had. All of the different options that they would give me and solutions. I did not have that with my prior provider, and it was just really nice to have someone interested in what could help us instead of just doing what we've always done.
I would recommend Experian to other credit unions because of the expertise that they bring to the equation, the tremendous sources of data that are available, and of course the ability to help you leverage them in trying to solve your business problems.
If it wasn't for the credit union vertical and the amount of investment that Experian has put into the credit union movement, there's no other competition. Nobody spends that kind of time and that kind of effort helping credit unions be better for the membership.
All right, welcome back to another Virtual Marketplace Monday. I'm your host, Isaiah, and I want to remind everybody that registration is now open for our virtual convention. We're doing these Marketplace Mondays. We're calling it Road to Convention. This year, we have to do a virtual convention, and much like Marketplace Monday, we've got a lot of fun activities lined up for everybody, all the credit union members, all the vendors that want to get involved. So just visit ccua.org. That's ccua.org. for all the information about our virtual convention coming up. All right, so one of the fun things we get to do on the show is we get to talk to the best and the brightest as far as vendors go out there. So all of you credit union decision makers that are watching Marketplace Monday, thank you for watching. I know you're watching because I'm giving away cash, right? You want my free money, don't you? Well, we're also talking to some really cool people, and today we're talking to Joe Heilman. He is the Executive Vice President of Blue U Defense. Joe, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Isaiah. I appreciate you having me on.
And we were just talking before we started the interview. Where are you calling us from today? Where are you at? You look like it's some kind of cabin or you're in the woods somewhere.
I am, yeah. I'm up at northwestern Maine, so up in the Millinocket area. It's about an hour and a half northwest of Bangor. That's where my camp is. So
I'm thinking there's no COVID cases up there.
Very, very few. Knock on wood. There's a lot around me, but knock on wood, there's very few up here. Just, a bunch of moose and some black bear, a couple eagles, and we're good.
You're good to go. You're in vacation mode up there. Well, listen, we really appreciate you coming on the show. Joe Heilman is the Executive Vice President of Blue U Defense. What is Blue U Defense? Talk about what your business does, Joe.
So primarily we started, in 2013 as a live training and conference business. So we traveled all over the country teaching active shooter, workplace violence, domestic violence, how to prevent and avoid, drugs in the workplace, all of these things. Then we did a lot of policy creation for our clients, drills, and then just a whole bunch of stuff as it pertained to safety and security of the organization. One of the things that we found, our primary vertical is financial institutions. And one of the things that we found is that financial institutions were really good at doing armed robbery training. But then there was a major gap in between their armed robbery training and really a workplace violence training and or just somebody who comes in that's irate or an active shooter situation. There was just a major gap in between what was actually provided to your employees. So what we found was a lot of employees were looking for that information, and people revert to their training and experience. So if we've taught somebody in an armed robbery situation to comply, but somebody walks in and they just start shooting, our people aren't going to know how to respond to it. And if they comply with an active shooter, the result ultimately is going to mean they're probably going to lose their life. So we found a major gap in what was actually provided in training. And that was our primary business model when we started in 2013. Moving forward a few years, that's changed quite significantly.
A lot's changed these days, hasn't it, Joe?
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot has changed. And look, the folks that are watching this show right now are all the credit union decision makers. The Cooperative Credit Union Association represents hundreds of credit unions throughout Delaware, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And what you just talked about is very important. I mean, training for those types of scenarios is top of mind. If it's not, it should be top of mind. And as these credit unions start to reopen, think about the one place you would never wear a mask and walk into, a credit union. You would be arrested the second. And now we're going to have to go through the reopening phase, and people will have to wear masks and identify themselves. I mean, the risk is higher, I think, now than it ever was, and certainly will be as we all move forward into this new normal thing. And a company like yours, Joe Heilman on the show with us, the executive vice president of Blue U Defense, a company like yours is going to be critical for the credit unions to be in contact with. I would say, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. And that's a really good point, Isaiah. One of the things that, we started doing is really going around and helping our credit union associations and helping our credit union clients come up with a plan for what do we do? Do we require people wear masks? Are we going to become the mask police? In other words, when somebody comes in not wearing a mask. And I will tell you that there's a group of people, if you will, that are not wearing masks that are looking for an opportunity to have a confrontation with one of your employees. So if they walk into your branch, to your credit union, and they're not wearing a mask and you confront them. I mean, one of the things that I put together was a training on this and working with our clients is there are incidents all over the country, from shootings that have happened to fights to people being, strangled, law enforcement getting assaulted, law enforcement intervening. So there's you need to have a policy, a procedure, and really a plan in place for how you're going to deal with that, or if you're going to deal with that. So it really is a major concern. And, one of the other things that I tell people is, people that are going into your organization to commit an armed robbery, they were worried about how to, when people walk in, am I going to have them remove their mask, look at a camera so that we can identify who they are? And I say, all right, so prior to COVID, people who are coming in to rob, whether it be your bank or your credit union or whatever that it happened to be, by and large wore some sort of facial covering, right? They were already wearing masks when they walked in. And for the most part, we solved quite a lot of those armed robberies. So that being said, if they're already wearing facial coverings, committing an armed robbery, and we're still solving the incident, are we making a bigger deal of this than we have to? If people want to walk in and they want to wear a mask, let them wear a mask. I mean, what you really need to pay attention to is recognizing signs of violence, de-escalation, and understanding what your normal is inside of your organization. And we talk a lot about profiling. When we talk about profiling, we're obviously not talking about racial profiling, but we're talking about the profile of your customer. Would it be abnormal to have somebody walking in wearing a clown outfit and big shoes, looking like Ronald McDonald walking in? Yeah, that's abnormal. So is that outside the normal profile? Yes. So, one of our programs is Know Your Customer. Know your profile of what your customer typically, or your member in this case, typically is likely to do when they walk into your credit union.
Talking to Joe Heilman, Executive Vice President of Blue U Defense. You can learn all about Blue U Defense at blue-u.com. That's blue-u.com. What we're talking about here, Joe, is very important. And as we go into the new normal, it will be even more important. Talk about your background, how you got to where you are with Blue U Defense, Joe.
Yeah, so I had a background in law enforcement. I'm actually still in law enforcement part-time. Have been there for about 17 years. And my background really is being a SWAT team commander, narcotics investigator, homicide, cold case investigator, sexual assault. I did a lot of forensic interviews on little kids for being victims of child abuse, sexual assault, kidnapping. I was a use of force instructor. I was a domestic violence lethality assessment coordinator, did threat assessments. So, and the reason that I mention all that is because we have a security academy coming up, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to impart a lot of the training that we had, that we received in law enforcement, and bring it over to what we call our designated security officer. So in credit unions, financial institutions, just as a whole, unless you're a really large credit union, most often you have a designated security officer. So it's a person that you say, look, you're doing a great job in human resources, or you're doing a great job in facilities. So as a result, we're going to designate you also our security officer. And oftentimes what happens is these individuals who are that designated person know little to nothing about it. And they're just trying to meet the requirements and keep the business afloat, meeting the certain regulations based on the National Credit Union Association and based on all these other regs. And there's no real place for them to gain expertise and training. So we put together a security academy that covers all the traditional and the non-traditional elements of being a designated security officer. And some of the things that we cover are things like, how do you conduct an interview? How do you conduct an investigation? So oftentimes I'll say, I'll get a call from a client and they'll say, we believe that we've got somebody stealing from the organization. And I said, okay, so what are you going to do? And they'll say, well, we think we know who it is, so I'm going to interview them. And I'll say, okay, well, what experience do you have in conducting an interview? Do you know how to set up the room? Do you know that there are rules to setting up an interview, where you sit versus where they sit? Are they free to leave? Are they not free to leave? All of these things play a role. And what does your outline look like? So if I was going to go, and not that we need to treat every investigation like a homicide investigation, but if I was going to go and I was going to do an interview of, let's call it a sexual predator, and I was going to go in and I was going to interview him, I knew I had one shot. I had one shot to get that interview done if I was able to get them to come in. And I needed to have all of my ducks in a row. I needed to have an outline of my questions, what I expected them to say, what I knew versus what they thought I knew. All of these things all lined up. And that's really how you set up an interview. And in this virtual academy that we've set up, we are going to be showing you exactly how to do that, how to get that done, some tips from the trade. And really, show you how to do a much better investigation. There's a lot more to that security academy, including all of the things about, what I talked about earlier, including recognizing signs of violence, de-escalation, drug abuse. One of the key things that we do as a business is there's a lot of people that are saying, for active shooter, for instance, run, hide, fight, right? That's kind of the Homeland Security's information that they pump out there. But there's a lot more to it than that. So how do you run? Where do you run? How do you hide? Where do you hide? How do you fight? Where? So all of those things is really what we do. And we dig down to the mental aspects of what's happening to you, what's happening to the bad guy, and how do we use these things to our advantage to make sure that we can stay alive.
All of these things are extremely important for financial institutions, for all of our credit unions watching. We're chatting with Joe Heilman. He's the Executive Vice President of Blue U Defense. Check out all of his information and learn more at blue-u.com. That's blue-u.com. You mentioned, talk briefly, we're about to wrap up here, but talk about that security academy. Blue U Security Academy is going to be virtual this year, and it starts on September 22nd. And you've already kind of gone over what's going to be there, but how do people sign up for this?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, blue-u.com, you can go right to our services page. And in there is the Virtual Security Academy. What we've done is we've realized, obviously, COVID's changed a lot of things for us. So we had put together a 2-day in-person security academy, and it was really meant to be a boot camp where it was just a lot of information and a lot of training by several instructors from all over the country, including ourselves, that we're bringing in for this training. But obviously with COVID, we've changed that. So what we've done is tried to make it a little bit more reasonable and a little bit easier to palate. It's very difficult to sit through 8 hours of virtual training all in one setting. Most of us can't do that. I'm very energetic and I can't do it, Isaiah. I just can't. So, nor can I provide it, virtually. So what we've done is we've put together 8 weeks, every Tuesday from 10 to 12. It's a 2-hour session for 8 weeks in a row. And we're going to do just segments. It's going to basically be like breakout sessions, and we're going to cover everything, like I said, from fraud to active shooter to how to become an instructor, a good instructor, your designated security officer, drugs in the workplace. All of these things are all going to be encompassed in 8 2-hour sessions starting on September 22nd.
Excellent. Joe Heilman, Executive Vice President of Blue U Defense. The Blue U Security Academy starts on September 22nd. I think all of the stuff you're covering is very important. So please, all the decision makers of all the credit unions that are watching the show right now, reach out to Joe Heilman, Blue U Defense. You can go to blue-u.com. That's blue-u.com. And you've got a lot of good information there. And I appreciate you coming on the show. I want to give you a chance to win some money. You want to spin the prize wheel, buddy?
Absolutely, I do.
Let's go. Here we go. Let's spin the prize wheel. We've got $50 gift cards, $25 gift cards, and free Dunkin' Donuts gift cards. You ready, Joe?
Well, as a cop, you know I like Dunkin's. Let's go.
Yeah. Whoa, let's not knock the thing over. And you've got, boom, a Dunkin' Donuts gift card, brother.
I'm stoked.
I love it. I love it. We'll make sure Dean gets you that. But listen, hey, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. This Marketplace Monday. Look, everything's changed because of COVID, but we're doing it virtually. We're keeping these things short and sweet. You gave us a lot of good information. Joe Heilman, Executive Vice President, Blue U Defense. Visit blue-u. That's the letter U, blue-u.com. Good luck with the Academy on the 22nd. Thanks so much for coming on, man.
Isaiah, thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You got it. Have fun up there in Maine. Go out and find some moose.
I'm going to go try to pet one later.
Good luck, man. All right. Take care. This is our virtual Marketplace Monday, and we will be back right after this. Stay with us.
CEO of the Year.
Do you know someone who is making a difference by their personal embrace of the credit union system and its values and principles? Come on, we all have heroes, those credit union legends among us who set examples for all to follow. Then why not nominate that person for one of CCUA's Awards of Excellence? Professional of the Year, CEO of the Year, Volunteer of the Year, and Hall of Fame Career Achievement. The nomination process is easy as 1, 2, 3. So what's stopping you? Just get your nomination to us before the deadline, Thursday, September 3rd. For more information, visit our website, ccua.org. And we'll be sure to look for your hero in the winner's circle.
A Bed for Every Child was launched by one simple request from a public school teacher who was looking for beds for her students who did not have one. What she was seeing was what many teachers were seeing every day: children growing up in poverty without a bed of their own. Today, A Bed for Every Child receives over 200 requests a month to help children receive a bed of their own. Can you help A Bed for Every Child make dreams come true for children growing up in poverty? By simply making a bed, you can. On a recent day, people of all ages who had never built a bed before came together to build beds for children in need of one of their own. Parents, children, grandparents, and friends formed teams. Each team was matched with one specific child whose picture was revealed inside a red envelope. They learned the child's name, age, and what they had been sleeping on. They all knew that the bed they were about to build was going to be a life-changing gift. The teams gathered to get to the business of building beds. Everything is supplied by A Bed for Every Child. Easy-to-follow instructions, pre-cut wood, and a toolbox containing everything needed to successfully build a bed. The process was accessible for all ages and skill levels. In a few hours, wood planks were transformed into solid bed frames. Brand new mattresses were lodged into place, and warm comforters were gently draped for a cozy slumber. Everyone stepped back and could not believe what they had accomplished. The impact of their efforts was on the faces of the children who would soon be dreaming big in their new bed. So, simply making a bed can and does have a huge impact in a child's life. With your help, A Bed for Every Child can continue to deliver new beds to children growing up in poverty throughout the Commonwealth.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back. We're just about to wrap up our 5th episode of CU Marketplace Monday. Thanks so much for all of our guests today. Dr. Kathy from Co-op Financial Services, Allison from Ebner Employers Association of the Northeast, and Joe way up there in Maine, who is representing Blue U Defense. Awesome vendors. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Quick shout out to our title sponsor, CUNA Mutual Group. Thank you so much for your partnership over the years. I want to thank everybody that takes the time to log on every Monday and watch our Credit Union Marketplace Monday. Thanks to everybody who jumped on the chat today. Actually, I still have a $100 gift card to give away. So why don't we do the 10th person that types I love Marketplace Monday. How about that? 10th person to type I love Marketplace Monday in the chat box below me right now. You get a $100 Visa gift card. Don't forget, Awards of Excellence deadline is this Thursday, so you want to get on that. CEO of the Year, Hall of Fame, Professional of the Year, and Volunteer of the Year. You saw the little ad there. Great piece of work for our virtual annual meeting and convention. Registration is open for that. Moving forward together is the theme this year. Of course, you can do all of this and watch all of the past episodes of Marketplace Monday right here on CCUA.org. My name's Isaiah. I've been your host. It is, hold on, just a little after 11, so it's time to wrap it up. We're taking next week off for Labor Day, so everybody enjoy the 3-day weekend, and we will see you back here on CCUA's CU Marketplace Monday on Monday, September 14th. Have an awesome week and enjoy your Labor Day weekend, everybody. We'll see you on the 14th.